Hello everyone. There are three fantastical looking Gothic buildings in London. If you're ever in London, these are the three buildings you must not miss. The first one is a Natural History Museum. The second is St Pancras Station. And the third one is the House of Commons or Palace of Westminster. And I'm going to introduce them all to you in this video. The first one here being the Natural History Museum. This was such a lovely, sunny, gorgeous day. Very lucky. No one around. Literally had the place yourself. Similar to many other fantastic museums in London, this one is still free. Entrance fee is free. However, you do now have to go online and book for a ticket, an entrance ticket in advance. And it's worth it because there's so many things to do and see inside the museum. And here is some history of the museum according to Wikipedia. The Natural History Museum in London is a museum that exhibits a vast range of specimens from various segments of natural history. It is one of three major museums on Exhibition Road in South Kensington, the others being the Science Museum and the Victoria and Albert Museum. The Natural History Museum's main frontage, however, is in Cromwell Road. The museum is home to live and earth science specimens comprising some 80 million items within five main collections: botany, entomology, mineralogy, paleontology, and zoology. The museum is a center of research and specializing in taxonomy, identification, and conservation. Given the age of the institution, many of the collections have great historical as well as scientific value, such as specimens collected by Charles Darwin. The museum is particularly famous for its exhibition of dinosaur skeletons and ornate architecture, sometimes dubbed a cathedral of nature, both exemplified by the large Diplodocus cast that dominated the vaulted central hall before it was replaced in 2017 with the skeleton of a blue whale hanging from the ceiling. The Natural History Museum Library contains an extensive collection of books, journals, manuscripts, and artwork linked to the work and research of the scientific departments. Access to the library is by appointment only. The museum is recognized as a preeminent center of natural history and research of related fields in the world. Although commonly referred to as the Natural History Museum, it was officially known as British Museum Natural History until 1992. Despite legal separation from the British Museum itself in 1963. Originating from collections within the British Museum, the landmark Alfred Waterhouse building was built and opened by 1881, and later incorporated the Geological Museum. The Darwin Centre is a more recent addition, partly designed as a modern facility for storing the valuable collections. Like other publicly funded national museums in the United Kingdom, the Natural History Museum does not charge an admission fee. The museum is an exempt charity and a non-departmental public body sponsored by the Department for Culture, Media and Sport. The Princess of Wales is a patron of the museum. There are approximately 850 staff at the museum. The two largest strategic groups are the Public Engagement Group and Science Group. This here is another fantastical Gothic looking building in London, and it's the St Pancras station. Now, this is called St Pancras International because if you come by train from the continent, from Paris Eurostar, you will come to St Pancras. Unfortunately, many people didn't know it. Once they kind of come out of the train, they check out, they just continue underground to go to other connecting wherever they need to go. They never actually come out of the station itself and have a look at the exterior of this building, which is a great miss, a great pity. So I would advise anyone who come to London, especially if you come to St Pancras, after you check out, literally come out of the station itself and have a look at this exterior outside of the station here. It's another beautiful architectural Gothic style looking building. Here is the story of St Pancras according to Wikipedia. St Pancras Railway Station, officially known since 2007 as London St Pancras International, is a major central London railway terminus on Euston Road in the London Borough of Camden. It is the terminus for Eurostar services from Belgium, France, and the Netherlands to London. It provides East Midlands Railway services to Leicester, Corby, Derby, Sheffield, and Nottingham on the Midland Main Line. Southeastern high-speed trains to Kent via Ebbsfleet International and Ashford International, and Thameslink cross-London services to Bedford, Cambridge, Peterborough, Brighton, Horsham, and Gatwick Airport. It stands between the British Library, the Regent's Canal, and London's King's Cross railway station, with which it shares a London Underground station, King's Cross St Pancras. The station was constructed by the Midland Railway (MR) to connect its extensive rail network across the Midlands and north of England to a dedicated line into London. After rail traffic problems following the 1862 International Exhibition, the MR decided to build a connection from Bedford to London with its own terminus. The station was designed by William Henry Barlow with wrought iron pillars supporting a single-span roof. At 689 feet, 210 meters by 240 feet, 73.2 meters wide, and 100 feet, 30.5 meter high, it was then the largest enclosed space in the world. Following the station's opening on 1st October 1868, the MR built the Midland Grand Hotel on the station's facade. George Gilbert Scott won the competition to design it with an ornate Gothic red brick scheme. St Pancras has been widely praised for its architecture and is now a Grade 1 listed building. This is the ground floor, and this is where the trains to and from Paris depart and arrive from. So if you want to go over to Paris by train on the Eurostar, this is where you need to come to check in. Okay. We have now come to our third ancient Gothic looking building, and it is the Houses of Parliament, or the Palace of Westminster, which is the government of the United Kingdom, where they have debates and the MP arguing themselves in this chamber here. Unfortunately, a big chunk of it is behind this fence, behind this gate now. You can't really see very much unless you poke your head through this fence here. You don't really see a lot around here. And up until, I think, before the lockdown, before the pandemic, you were actually allowed to go in for free entrance to go in as a tourist to look around the place. But then there was some terrorist attacks, and then the pandemic and the lockdown, and that's when they start putting up all these barriers and gates and everything you see here. All this black big chocker block here was put up a few years ago, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that. But now is everything is security, and you can't just walk free anymore. I think the only way you can get in now is to go with a tour group. Then, but I think that is quite expensive. I wouldn't be surprised if it's between £20 to £30. Here's a quick history of the building. The Palace of Westminster is the meeting place of the Parliament of the United Kingdom and is located in London, England. It is commonly called the Houses of Parliament, after the House of Commons and the House of Lords, the two legislative chambers which occupy the building. The palace is one of the centres of political life in the United Kingdom. Westminster has become a metronym for the UK Parliament and the British government, and the Westminster system of government commemorates the name of the palace. The Elizabeth Tower of the palace, nicknamed Big Ben, is a landmark of London and the United Kingdom in general. The palace has been a Grade 1 listed building since 1970 and part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1987. I have separate individual videos for each of these locations, each of these buildings. So if you're interested, you might want to go and see them individually because there'll be longer and much more detailed information on each of them.